welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the live stream. Happy Thursday. Thanks for joining me here today. Let's see who we got. We got Alex. Hey, Alex. Let's see.
Hey, hi.
We have RJ here. Hey, Paula. Thanks for joining. We have Kylan here. Hey, Kylan. Are you going to see Crow this weekend? I am not. I haven't seen the original. I'm not really like a fan, so I am not. But is anyone else here going to see it? Hey, Dylan. How's everyone doing today? Hold on one second. We have Ray here watching from Twitch. Thank you so much. Hey, SMF. Hey, Nicholas. Hey, Alvaro. We got Scream and Cobra Kai here. Hey, Paul. Do you prefer being called Pamela or Sistapam? Either one. Either one works. Hey, Climinator. Thanks for joining. Figured we'll get into some Scream talk today. As always, this one's probably going to be a quick one today. Maybe like an hour, but we'll see. Am I going to see Beetlejuice 2? I want to. I rewatched the original last night. So yeah, I would love to go see the second one. Oh no, Percy. Sorry to hear that. Hopefully you feel better soon. Thanks, SMF. I appreciate that. Yeah, I did just start a Twitch account. I'm streaming there at the same time right now. So yeah, if you guys could follow me over on Twitch, I would appreciate that. The link is in the description. I think my username on there is Sistapam96. Hey, Cody. Yes, please. Everyone here, please give the stream a like. I see there's 20 of us here. Hey, Internet Explorer. Obviously, Scream. Other than Scream, though, Jeepers Creepers is my favorite. As you can see, I have my license plate right behind me. I just got that recently on my most recent trip to Spirit Halloween. I actually should be going back to Spirit Halloween in a few days. Another location near me opens up in, I think, 3 days. So super excited. The one location I already went to was pretty small. So this other one I'm going to should be bigger. Do you think Stu Macher showed his full potential in Scream 96? I don't know. Hopefully when he comes back in 7, we can see some more great things from him. Hey, Elijah. I definitely think Stu is the greatest. Well, So Stu's my favorite, but actually Billy might be the greatest. Love them both. Stu's my personal favorite. Have you seen Titanic Funny Edits? It's a hilarious 2-minute video that mixes elements of the film Titanic with anything from slasher films to Star Wars. I have not. I have not even heard of that. I am a big fan of Titanic. It's one of my favorite movies. When I was younger, I watched it so much that I truly memorized, like, the entire script. I could repeat the movie, like, word for word. Paul is going to see Deadpool and Wolverine tonight. Nice. I heard nothing but amazing things about that movie, and I am a fan of both, so definitely looking forward to seeing it one day, once it hits streaming, I guess. Hey, Jamie. Thanks for joining, and thank you for moderating. What if Billy and Stu betrayed each other in Scream 96 and started to try to kill each other? I mean, I kinda think that's what went down, I think Billy was gonna sell out Stu, you know? He cut him a little too deep, which was not the plan, and then we later find out from Roman that he taught Billy, "You need a partner to sell out." Which, I also do think is interesting that Roman says that, but then doesn't have a partner himself. So you guys know all the Roman theories, like having a having a secret partner that was never revealed. A lot of people think it was Angelina. So how many of you here believe that Angelina was really Roman's partner and he just killed her before the big reveal? Hey, AJ, I am well, thank you. Hope you are as well. Thanks for joining the live stream. Just talking some Scream theories. If you guys have any theories you want to drop in the chat, please do so. Did you guys hear? I heard yet another rumor about Scream 7. Don't know how true it is. I mean, we do know that they're starting filming in December, but I heard that they will be filming through till March. So that's a long film time. But again, don't know if that's true. That Jeepers Creepers song always gets stuck in my head. It's a good one. This is an interesting question. Alex says, "Do you think that Stumacher's cult members have all met him in person, or do you think that some of them have only met him virtually?" Interesting. Definitely a possibility that not all of them have officially met him, especially if the cult is really big. We don't know how many cult members he has. Could be kind of small with like 10 people, could be massive with like hundreds all across the country, possibly the world. So if he has a lot, there could be a chance that they haven't all officially met him, especially if you like go down the ranks, like someone in the cult who kind of ranks lower, maybe they haven't met him. That's interesting. What other horror icon could have a versus movie with Ghostface? Interesting. Well, I don't think it could be anyone who's supernatural since Ghostface is not supernatural. So what options does that leave us? I mean, it can't be any of the big ones, like can't be Freddy, can't be Michael, Can't be Jason or Chucky. I don't know. Who else is there that is not supernatural? Even like Art the Clown is supernatural. So I don't know. Leave some options in the chat if anyone can think of anything. By the way, did anyone go to Starbucks today to get a pumpkin spice latte? I did. It was fantastic. It's also very cold today where I live, which I'm so happy about. I actually have to wear a sweatshirt in here right now, where I typically have the AC blasting when I'm live streaming in here. But it's actually cold in this room. Ooh, Jamie says Ghostface versus Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. That would be interesting. I wonder if they're ever gonna do like a remake of that. I feel like every movie these days gets a remake. We have Zork here. Hey Zork. Thanks for popping in and moderating. Oh, we have a super chat from Zork. It's not possible to do a crossover with Scream because Scream is meta. Any movie in our world is a movie in the Scream world. That's an interesting point. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I personally would want to see some kind of a crossover. At least not for like an official movie in the franchise. Maybe something fun like just on YouTube, maybe like a short film just for fun. I don't know. I kind of agree with you. Thank you so much for your super chat, Zork. Let's see, where was I? Who do you think is the worst Ghostface killer? Nancy, Wayne, Ethan, Quinn, Jill, Charlie. Definitely Ethan. Most of you guys here know how I feel about Ethan. I do not care for him at all. He is definitely my least favorite. Paul says, I'm still down in the dumps about no Melissa Barrera or Josh Segarra. It may sound strange, but I had a dream the other night that Segarra's character was face to face with Ghostface. I'm with you. I think about it every day, and every time I think about it, I'm like, damn, like what we could have gotten in Scream 7 if Melissa was still here. It's such a bummer. Like, I will never forget the day that the news broke. I honestly thought it was a joke at first. I saw it on Twitter and I was like, this is someone starting some kind of crazy rumor, as people do on Twitter all the time. And when it turned out to be true, I was absolutely devastated. And one of the first thoughts that I had was, we're not going to get Danny Brackett back. I thought he was a great character in Scream 6. So it's such a bummer. And I know that Josh Segarra was super excited about coming back in 7. He did an interview before Scream 7 was even officially announced, where he said that he's coming back. You know, and this was before Melissa was fired, before we even got the Scream 7 announcement. So I feel really bad for him because he was really excited. I have said before, like, they could include him if they wanted to. They definitely could find some space for him in the story, but I don't know. It's not looking too good for Danny. Hey, Mario. Roman is a very underrated ghost face. I know Roman has a lot of fans out there. He's not my favorite. I don't hate him, but he's not my favorite. Paula says, I liked Billy more than Stu, but Billy was one of the most selfish. Hey, Thomas. Thomas says, I heard a rumor they may be filming 7 and 8 back to back due to that long film time, like Halloween did. Who knows? Interesting. I did hear that as well. That would be very interesting if they did that. I also didn't realize that Halloween did that. That's cool. I wonder. I wonder if they're gonna do that, especially, you guys know I think Stu's coming back in 7, and I have said, like, I would love it if Stu got away with it at the end of 7 and was also in the full movie for 8. And if that's the case, then maybe filming them back to back would be the best way to go. AJ says, Wayne Bailey, I know a lot of people don't like the character, but he was a brutal Ghostface. Dermot is an amazing actor, but I feel the directors failed in directing that third act. Yeah, he definitely was a brutal Ghostface, and I agree he is an amazing actor. And yeah, I was kind of disappointed with the third act. I remember leaving that theater immediately feeling disappointed, which is such a shame. I don't know. I've said a million times, like, I feel like they kind of rushed Scream 6, It only came out a year after Scream 5. Maybe they should have spent more time getting it right. I don't know. So that is why I'm happy that Scream 7 has been delayed a little bit. As much as I want to see it now, I want it to be good and I want them to take the time to get it right. And Nev Campbell has even said recently that she thinks that this delay is a good thing for the same reasons I just said, so they can really take the time to get things right. Do you think Stu was hiding in the shadows of Scream 2 to 6? I definitely think it's possible. Well, definitely for 5 and 6, absolutely yes. I do think Stu has been present in the shadows in 5 and 6. I've done so many videos about this on the channel. So definitely check them out if you haven't seen them. But when it comes to 2, 3, and 4, I'm not so sure. I do think there is a possibility, and every single one of these streams that I do here, I always shout out Nerdbox on YouTube because they do think that he was in 2, 3, and 4. They have a bunch of great videos on their channel, um, pointing out some of the clues. Hey, Kenzie, what are your other favorite horror franchises? Most underrated scary movie? Um, Favorite franchise is definitely Halloween. I like the Chucky movies. Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, all the classics. Um, I guess I'll say Jeepers Creepers is one of my favorite franchises, although it's really just the first and second movie that I absolutely love. The first and second one are so good, some of my favorite movies ever. The third one, not as great, but honestly, not that bad of a movie. When I gave it a rewatch last year, it's not that bad. The fourth one, don't get me started on Jeepers Creepers 4. I didn't even finish it. I only watched the first half of it, and I paid money to watch it. I had to rent it, and I didn't finish it. Most underrated? I don't know. I'll have to think about that. I don't know. What do you guys think is possibly the most underrated scary movie? Drop some answers in the chat. Hey, Jamie, thanks for stopping by. Ethan says, I got a pumpkin spice latte at Starbucks 2 days ago. It didn't drop until today near me. So I'm jealous. Let's see. Paul got a pumpkin chai. I've never tried it. I might have to give it a try. Climinator says, I think if we get a new Scream trilogy, what we could get in Screams 7 to 9 is one returning killer and a new killer in each installment. That would be wild. I personally would love that. I do think there are a lot of people out there who wouldn't like that because there's a lot of people out there who don't like the idea of a returning killer at all. But I mean, I would love that. Jamie says, I hope they never remake American Psycho. Some things should be sacred. I am with you. I definitely think some things should stay untouched. Definitely Scream is one of those. You know, I imagine there's gonna come a day where they're gonna try to remake Scream. And it's like, why? Why mess with perfection? And I feel bad for whoever does try to remake it one day because I think they'll get a lot of hate from people. It's hard to live up to something that good. Who is winning between the men Ghostface killers and the woman Ghostface killers? Uh, Probably the men, just because there's so many more of them. There's not that many. There's only 4 female Ghostfaces, and the rest are all men, so they'd be outnumbered, unfortunately. It would be funny for Scream 7 to feature a scene of Schumacher having a Zoom meeting with his cult members. That would be hilarious. Ethan says in Scream 7, we need flashbacks on Dewey's death being Stu or Mickey and Gail's attack being either Stu or Mickey. If I had to guess, Mickey killed Dewey and Stu attacked Gail. I personally think Stu did both of them. I think Stu killed Dewey and attacked Gail, killed Brooks, her boyfriend. But I agree with you. I hope we get some flashbacks to kind of piece together, like fill in the gaps, you know? I can just picture it in my head, like getting a flashback to Dewey's death and no one else is around and Stu takes off the mask standing over Dewey. That would be amazing. We're slowly brainwashing Pam into a Roman fan. Yeah, maybe as the years go by, he'll grow on me a little bit more. Like I said, don't hate him, but it's just the reveal that I don't like. Sydney should have had some scenes with him before the reveal. It would have meant so much more. Just like with Jill. With Jill, it was a huge betrayal because we spent the whole movie with these two. We know that they are family. So it was a huge betrayal. With Roman, she was just like, who are you? Billy is by far the smartest as he manipulated Sydney more than anyone, which made her more susceptible to his actions. I definitely agree with that. He definitely messed with her head a lot. Alejandro is watching Scream 2 on my new VHS setup. Nice. I am jealous. One of my goals is to get one of those TVs with the VHS built in. I see that they're on eBay for like $200. Hey, Chris, thanks for joining. After seeing him be the killer in Thanksgiving, I wasn't into his reveal. I was a fan of Thanksgiving. I've only seen it once in the theaters, so I'm looking forward to rewatching it this Thanksgiving. Bobby says, I was just wondering, when you did the Who Killed Who videos, did you watch any other Who Killed Who videos? And will you do a Who Killed Who in Scream 5? Yeah, I watched Zach Cherry's. I was definitely inspired by his series to do my own. And yes, I know I have yet to do Scream 5. When I first did the Who Killed Who's, this was like a year ago. These were one of my early videos on my channel. And I just never got around to doing Scream 5. And I always say I'm going to do it. And I never do. It's just, it is a lot of work. Like, I got to rewatch the movie, watch it very closely, take notes, and I will eventually. I just don't know when, um, because I am very busy right now. I'm like getting ready for spooky season. I have something fun planned for the channel, which I am currently working on now, which does take up like all of my time, on top of like doing these live streams every day. And yeah, and we did just do the Scream 5 watch party, so I probably won't rewatch Scream 5 for a little while, but the next time I watch it, I will have to take notes for that video. What if Stu killed Randy in Scream 2? So that's interesting. Nerdbox, who I mentioned previously, does think that Stu killed Randy. So definitely go check out their videos. Hey, Tanisha, thanks for joining the live stream. And thanks for moderating. Hey, Raggedy Man. Hey, Because Movies. Ooh, most underrated scary movie is The Exorcism of Emily Rose. I think I saw that once years ago when it came out. I was pretty young, so I really don't remember it. I'll have to give it a rewatch. Hey, Homer Hat. Slither was a huge bomb when it came out. Have you seen Trauma starring Piper Laurie? I have not. Jamie says one of the most underrated horror movies is The Blair Witch 2. I don't think I've ever seen the second one. And um I definitely saw the first one, but again, I was pretty young and I could use a rewatch of the first one. Ray says Maxine is pretty underrated. I thought it deserved more love than all the hate it got. Yeah, I did hear pretty mixed reviews on Maxine, mostly kind of negative. I did hear some good reviews. Internet Explorer says I didn't understand the hype behind pumpkin spice season for a long time, but Starbucks made me love it. Starbucks pumpkin spice is definitely really good. So I am a fan of Dunkin' Donuts coffee in general, but when it comes to pumpkin spice, Starbucks is definitely way better, like noticeably better. Johnny says Urban Legend is underrated. I do love Urban Legend. Homer Hat says Blair Witch 2 has some really interesting stuff in it. I want a Scream where the killer isn't revealed. That definitely would be interesting. I would find it very frustrating though, but it definitely would be interesting and definitely would build the suspense for the next one. Like, you know, like I've said a million times, I think Stu's coming back in 7. But imagine if like it is him in 7, but they don't reveal him at the end and then we have to wait for the next one. Oh my god, I would be so frustrated. If they don't remake Scream, it will be Scream 54 in 2056. People shouldn't try to remake Wes Craven movies. It rarely works out. Just look at the Nightmare remake. Yeah, not the best. Definitely not the best. Do you think Mickey and Stu both run the cult? I don't. I just think it's Stu. I know there's a lot of Mickey believers out there. I personally am not one of them. Ooh, Xander says, I've been a Stu believer for a while, but during yesterday's stream, I also became a Mickey believer. Interesting. Exactly. Totally agree. Sydney should have like known who Roman was just as a director, you know? Hey, Isaiah, thanks for joining. Yes, because movies. This is something that I have been saying for so long now. We do need a flashback of Dewey and Gail and what happened between them in New York. I was so sure that we were going to get this in Scream 6, considering 6 takes place in New York. It would have been the perfect time to do it, considering it was the first movie without Dewey and it takes place in New York and we don't know exactly what happened between them in New York. Like I would have absolutely loved to see a flashback. I mean, it pisses me off. Like, what could cause Dewey to leave in the middle of the night? I don't like that he did that. How can you not face Gail, someone that you've known for decades, someone that you started a life with, and you can't at least face her and say, "Listen, I'm not happy here. I need to go back to Woodsboro. I would love it if you can come with me." Leaving in the middle of the night, like, come on. Something something must have happened, like, something big. I don't know. Stumacher versus Cotton, who would win in a fight? I'd like to think Stu would just because he's crazier. This is funny. Well, if it did fall on you, you could survive it. Hey, Ryan, thanks for joining the live stream, and thanks for moderating. Do you think Danny Brackett could be related to one of the characters in the series? Yes, I definitely think it's a possibility. This is something that we have talked about on the channel several times, because of that one line that he says in Scream 6, "Family can be rough." Him and Sam are talking in, like, the lobby of the building that they live in, and they're talking about Tara, and Danny kinda looks down to the floor and says, "Yeah, family can be rough," and then we just brush past that line, you know, Chad comes running down the stairs, and then they all run upstairs to watch the news. I think that line from Danny is very important. I don't know, like, who is his family? Some people think he could be related to Stu. Some people think he's related to Mickey, to Roman. I don't know. I definitely it's a shame we're probably not going to get Danny in the next movie because I think there could have been a lot more to him. Did you watch the Scream TV series? I did, yes. It was pretty good. You know, can't compare to the movies. Um, the story for the first 2 seasons was very good. It's a shame that they never finished that story. Season 3 was also pretty good. Probably not as good as the first 2, but I did like that they used the original mask, and I'm a fan of Keke Palmer, so I really liked her in season 3. And I don't know, I think the twist was pretty good in season 3 as well. But it's been so long since I watched the show, and I definitely need to give it another watch. A lot of you guys have requested that I do some videos on the show, so I definitely would have to rewatch it to do so. I did do one video kind of about the show, asking you guys if you think it takes place in the same universe because um I think season 3 takes place in Atlanta, Georgia, and Kirby investigates ghost faces in Atlanta, Georgia. So I don't know. Could Kirby have possibly been investigating the ghost faces from season 3? Do you think Randy is coming back in a flashback? I don't know. Definitely a possibility. It is something that I've talked about. Like, I would love to see another videotape from Randy, which obviously Jamie Kennedy looks very different now, but it's possible. Like, with the technology that we have these days, um, he can cut his hair, shave his face, which he actually did do recently. I made a video about it several months ago. And on top of that, they can like de-age him, use some filters. I mean, look at the filters that we have just on social media apps. You can make yourself look younger on Snapchat and TikTok. Like, they can definitely make it work. Have you seen Legacy Scream? Are you referring to that fan film on YouTube? I believe that I have seen it. The main girl is supposed to be like Sydney's daughter. Buffy is the best series of all time. I've never seen it. It is something that is on my watch list. I'm honestly surprised I've never seen it because years ago I was very much into like vampire stuff. You know, The Vampire Diaries is one of my favorite shows ever. I was a Twilight girl back in the day. um, I love the show True Blood. That's one of the best shows. So yeah, I definitely need to give Buffy a watch eventually. Hey, Eric. This is something that I've noticed also. Um, Scream 1 and 2 came out a year apart, just like 5 and 6. And now we're gonna have a little bit of a gap with 7, just like we did with 3. Um, yeah, I kind of hope that we get 7 in 2025 though. Like I have said, I think the earliest we could get it is summer 2025. Um, but maybe fall 2025. But I guess at that point, yeah, they could just wait till early 2026. Ooh, I have not tried the pumpkin muffin from Starbucks, but I'm definitely gonna have to get it this year. I didn't even think to check if they had it today. I'm sure they did. Urban Legend is legendary. Did you know there was going to be an Urban Legend reboot? That got scrapped about a year ago. I did not. Interesting. Opening scene, Mark Kincaid will be killed. Definitely a possibility. This is something that we've talked about a bunch on the channel. Yeah, it could be the way to get Sydney back involved in the story. You know, it's going to take a lot to get her to want to come back. So I definitely think this is a possibility, especially because now there's rumors that Patrick Dempsey is not going to play a big role in the movie, which is unfortunate. I wanted to see him be like the lead detective on the case. Eric thinks Jill could also be alive because she was not shot in the head. I'm with you. I definitely think it's a possibility. Um, that was the intention back then. She was going to come back in Scream 5 if they had made it way back when. So, and Emma Roberts has said she would love to return. So, definitely think it's a possibility. I personally would love to see her again. If there was a Ghostface cult, who from the past films do you think would be members? I think the two sorority girls would be. Um, well, I have said I do think I think Richie, Amber, and Jason and Greg were definitely all cult members. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Tons of clues that point towards that, which I won't get into now, but I have several videos on this if any of you want to check it out. Um, so yeah, just those four really. I don't know who else. Paula wants Kincaid to stay alive. Yeah, I would like to see him for most of the movie at least to interact with Sydney. I want to see them as husband and wife. Hey, Chocolate Ice. Thanks for joining the live stream and moderating. Let's see. I'm going to try to catch up in the chat before I do wrap up the stream. If you have a pressing question you want to make sure that I see, you can always send in a super chat, but I will try to get to everyone. Where is the tape of Gail? Do you mean like her camera that she hid? You know, below the TV in the first movie? I know that there's like a bunch of theories out there. This is something that we have talked about on the channel. Like, what was captured on Gail's camera? Could it have seen Stu, like, you know, wake up and be alive? But I think I was watching someone else's video a while ago on things that were found in the shrine. And I think Gail's tape, her camera was in the shrine. I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but I think that I saw it. I've been trying to figure out whose channel it was on. We have a super chat from Percy. Thanks, Percy. Who would win, Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees? Interesting. They're both pretty strong, but I do think Michael Myers would win. He is just like crazy strong and unkillable. So I definitely think Michael would win, although I think it would be an interesting fight. But yeah, definitely Michael. Thank you so much for your super chat, Percy. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hey, Marvel. Thank you. Definitely Team Edward. Yeah, we're definitely going to do Halloween watch parties, but I think we're going to wait till the month of October for that. I saw every Scream in cinema from 96. Nice. I've only seen 4 and 6 in the theaters. Yeah, I'm sure that I would love Buffy. I just know I would. I can tell. It's like my type of show. But, starting a new show is a big commitment because once I get into a show, it's all I want to do all day long. Just binge watch the show, neglect all of my responsibilities. So that's why I do prefer watching movies because I could just watch one movie at the end of the night. I get very addicted to shows. Ray says, I believe Dewey left in the middle of the night because he couldn't hack it in that environment. In Scream 4, Dewey tells Sydney it's been hard on Gail. Small town husband. They both thrive in different environments and suffer the other. Definitely agree with you. I mean, Dewey did say himself he couldn't hack it. But it's like, like I said, why leave her in the middle of the night? Just sit her down, have a conversation, say, this isn't working out. I need to go back home. That's why a part of me has always thought like something bigger was going on. Something big happened between them. I don't know. We have another super chat. Ghostface versus Harry Warden. Who is that? Is that from My Bloody Valentine? Okay, yeah. Definitely. Ooh, hmm. Maybe maybe Harry Warden because I mean Ghostface always loses in the end. So, I love Ghostface, but possibly Harry Warden would win. Thank you so much for your super chat. That was an interesting, you know, face off. Thank you so much, Percy. I appreciate you. Bobby says you should watch The Walking Dead. I have considered it, but I don't know. I'm not super into um zombies. I don't know. Do you think Stu possibly brainwashed Jill? I mean, it is something I've considered. Maybe Jill and Charlie were a part of Stu's cult. I did a video on this months ago. Just because, the original plan for Scream 3 was that Stu was going to be um, leading a cult of ghost faces that consisted of like high school students or college students, just young adults. So, yeah, I think possibly some of that storyline could have leaked into the next movie in Scream 4. It's definitely a possibility. Maybe he will be killed like Dewey. Are you referring to Mark Kincaid? Raggedy Man says was never a huge Kincaid fan. He was creepy in Scream 3. Yeah, I don't like that one part when Sydney asks him, "What's your favorite scary movie?" and he gets real close to her and says, "My life." I do think it's a little much. Like, back out of my personal space. And he's also a little weird at the end of the movie. He's like, "Sydney, come join us. We're gonna watch a movie." And she says, "What movie?" He's like, "Come see," or something like that. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. Do you think Scream 7 will be the Sydney-focused story, or will her kids take over the franchise? Well, I definitely think, she will be the main character for 7. Nev Campbell even said that herself, like, "We're going to be following, um, Sydney." I do think her kids will be featured in the movie, and there's rumors that, um, her kids will go on to be the main characters going forward in the rest of this new trilogy. Don't know if that's true. It's just a rumor at this point, but I definitely could see them doing that, especially if, we don't know if Melissa Barrera will ever be back one day. I hope that she will be, but if she's not, like, if they can't work things out with her, they will need someone to take over. So I definitely could see her kids taking over in the future, but for 7, it's definitely going to be, Sydney. We have another super chat from Percy. Thank you so much. Stu versus Roman. No weapons, just them duking it out. Um, I'm gonna go with Stu. I feel like we definitely saw a lot more physicality from Stu in the first Scream versus Roman. Scream 3 was very tame as far as the kills. It was because of censorship in movies at the time. They couldn't get too graphic with it. Um, yeah, I feel like Roman wasn't super physical in that movie. I don't know. I do think a lot of people would disagree with me. Some people do say Roman is like the most brutal, but I don't know if I agree with that. So I'm going to go with Stu. Thank you again for all of your super chats, Percy. I really appreciate it. And thanks for hanging out with us in the stream. If only men had the emotional intelligence to talk about their feelings. Poor Dewey. Yeah, I mean, all it took was one conversation. But like I said, like if you spent your life with this person almost 3 decades, 30 years almost, are you not comfortable enough with this person to like talk about your feelings for a minute? Like you spent half your life with this person. Yes, Jonathan, we are definitely getting Scream 7. It is officially in the works. Do you remember the first movie you saw in theaters? I believe mine was the original Toy Story. I don't know exactly what the first one was, but I was just thinking about this the other day. I do remember going to see the movie Signs, um, which oddly enough has Rory Culkin in it. I definitely was way too young to be seeing this movie in theaters. It's one of the first memories I have of going to the theaters. What year did that come out? Let's see. Let me do a little detective work. Okay, that came out in 2002. So yeah, that's like my first memory that I can think of. So I'm gonna go with Signs was the first one I saw. Marvel says, imagine Sydney discovers a VHS of Dewey who recorded a message and he announces that Stu is alive. But the message becomes blurred and he says at the end that he will kill everyone in the city where we will be for his game. That's interesting. I have said before, I do think there is a chance that Dewey could have known uh, that Stu was alive. I have a couple theory videos on my channel explaining this in great detail. I will just quickly say, Stu faked his death. His parents helped to cover it up, paid off the police of Woodsboro to keep this secret. Dewey was a part of the Woodsboro police. He was sworn to secrecy. He had to keep the secret. Also, didn't want to cause Sydney any more pain or suffering or unnecessary worrying about it. So, kept the secret. Couldn't tell Gail either. And keeping the secret ate away at him for all these years. And that explains why him and Gail could never work things out because he was keeping the secret. He couldn't keep his job as sheriff. He was asked to step down. And he also turned to alcohol. We learn in Scream 5 that he's a little bit of an alcoholic. So all of this could add up. And maybe Dewey did know that Stu was alive. Also, could explain why he goes running to Sydney's college campus in Scream 2 the second that he hears Ghostface is back, because maybe he's like, oh crap, like Stu's coming after her again. Let me go check on her. I don't know. A lot of possibilities. Hey, Ace. Thanks for joining the stream. Unfortunately, we are getting ready to wrap things up. Yes, I have said this before. It's interesting to think that for a whole year, Sydney and Billy were a normal couple before Roman showed up. Yeah, I've said this before. Like, it's very interesting to think about. What were they like as a couple? What was Billy like just as a normal kid? Um, so if they're 17 in the movie, they dated for 2 years at that point. So, like, they got together when they were 15. That's crazy to think about. Climinator's first movie was Bambi, then Aladdin, then Jurassic Park. Cool. Kevin Williamson made the series the following with a cult of killers. Sure with him directing Scream 7 will blow our minds. Yes, I have complete faith in Kevin Williamson. Do you think in the Scream universe everyone knows who killed who? Probably not. It's probably just like in real life, like us as fans of the movie watching certain, there are certain scenes where we really will never know who killed who. There are certain scenes where we can know for sure, but yeah, I don't think that everyone knows. If Dewey was alive in Scream 6, do you think he would have gave Sam the same advice he gave to Sydney in Scream 2? Possibly. Yeah, maybe a little bit different, kind of like tailored to the situation at hand. If Maureen accepted Roman, then the franchise wouldn't exist. That is an interesting thought and probably accurate. It's crazy to think about. All right, so I am going to end the stream here. We've been going for over an hour, which is amazing. I always have so much fun hanging out with you guys. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, talking about these movies that we love so much. I probably will go live tomorrow, so definitely stay tuned for that. Thanks, Alex. Turn on all notifications so that you don't miss it when I go live. You will get notified the second we go live, so you don't miss out. Thanks, Raggedy Man. Thank you so much, you guys, for all of your comments, questions, your super chats. I'm not sure what time tomorrow is, so definitely just turn on notifications so you can get notified. Probably around the same time as today, kind of all week long has been like mid-afternoon, my time, Eastern time. Probably around 2-3 p.m. tomorrow, but you know, turn on notifications. We have one final. Oh, we have 2 super chats. Another one from Percy. Thank you so much. You said, I love this channel so much. Keep up the good work, Pam. God bless you. Thank you so much, Percy. I truly appreciate that. I'm so grateful that you love it so much because I truly love making these videos, talking about my favorite movies, coming on here, you know, to hang out with you guys live is honestly so much fun. The time really flies by. But thank you so much. Definitely a lot more content coming your way. So thank you for all of your super chats, Percy. Hey, Willmeister. Thank you so much for your super chat. Yeah, I try to kind of go live every day. I try to. This week I've been doing every day. I definitely will be going live tomorrow, Willmeister, so probably around the same time, like 2 p.m., 3 p.m. Eastern time. So you can tune in for that one and make sure all your notifications are on so that you don't miss it. But I appreciate you popping in last minute and throwing me a super chat. Thank you so much. Yes, it is the best. Thanks, Ace. Thanks for hanging out. All right, I will see all of you guys tomorrow.